The program now Good Morning Salon will come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we mentioned earlier, inside one power headlines tourism. Today they look at the status of gender-based violence in the country and waiting government they do for solve them. Well, inside the program, I want to welcome Aisata Jabi Kaba, we are the Gender Advisor, Office of the President. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning, listeners, and good morning, 98.1.
And also want to welcome na the program Masire Brahima Lavali, in the Liaison Officer, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Social Welfare and Inclusion. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning to Hellenians and good morning to Radio Democracy.
Okay, come to IJ Kaba, we the Gender Advisor, Office of the President, as he been getting appointment inside October 2023, where President Bio being appointed to this position. Well, within this office, don't they do for support the fight against gender-based violence, and within they don't they advise the President for sake of gender-based violence in the country. Make we get another program this morning. Morning again.
Good morning, Musa. Thank you very much for we wanna give me the opportunity for there this morning. And the Office of the Presidential Advisor, we directly they under the President of Retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. Now, as in the second term, this will gather office there in this country. When President Nkrumah been there, he been initially appointed Madam Nasu Fofana as Presidential Advisor on Gender. Since Nasu left, that office they don't become vacant. So when President Biosi and say he will need to get somebody as Gender Advisor, we would directly they like a bridge between him and the other sectors where gender cut across all sides. So this office, since they appoint me as Gender Advisor, we don't do policy brief, we don't advise His Excellency on gender responsive policies, gender budgeting, all the issues then they. But the main issue we bring me here this morning, we all know say when the issue of rape can increase, gender-based violence don't increase, President Bio bin create a task force, what he call a national task force on SGBV. That task force they directly under His Excellency in portfolio. But he and say now that he don't get a gender advisor in his office, he decided to put that particular task under my office. Since then, I don't be team lead on SGBV task force, where a task force is comprised of a lot of sectors. Because when you talk about SGBV, not to one side they affect. So we now get this presidential task force on SGBV, where we get the Minister of Basic and Secondary School Education, Conrad Saki, a ministry, a member. We get the Ministry of Health. We get the Ministry of the Attorney General's Office, a member. We also get the Chief Minister, a member of that particular task force. The Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs, a task force, and a member of that task force. The Minister of Social Welfare, we get Human Rights Commission. Of course, when you talk about rape, now this country, Rainbow Initiative, we left them out. We get representative from Women's Forum. So it's a multi-sectoral task force where you get all them people here, the police, the military, everybody in a member of that task force. And that task force, they will meet on quarterly basis. Why would they meet? Because we know so we meet all them particular institutions that way, then they act in the various ways with SGBV. They give you proper update. And if you give me proper updates, proper data as to why it increase, what it happen, what's in a hotspots and all the issues, then we will take proactive actions for make sure say we work on the issues and the quick one. So like 2 weeks ago, we get this multi-sectoral, this task force meet, and it was a big meeting. We meet because we don't see say the SGBV don't become alarming, it increase and it don't become worrisome. And HEC and say, this task force day, what is going on? Why the increase? Why then particular districts here get high numbers of sexual gender-based violence and gender-based violence? So we summon this task force. We can't sit down. We spend hours for look at the data. What's how it don't increase? Why it increase? What are the causes? What do we need for do? We have laws. Government don't take stringent actions. You don't put several laws in place. But still, would they get increase in this particular SGBV? Why is it happening? Will they get an increase in schools? In fact, it reached to a point. World Bank been threatening say if we know they handle the issue of school-related SGBV, then we withdraw funding. So what we do as a task force? We go into action straight. Call the minister. Can look at referral pathway protocols. We say, look, we go for launch this. We go for go into action, and that was what we did. So my office now more or less a coordinating office on this particular SGBV. If it happen, we coordinate all them multi-sectoral approach, bring everybody come. We can't sit down and look at them. The police, una give you why una they get this particular number. What una don't do? And if una feel say una they do this, but the number they increase, what una need for do? Do we need to change our strategies? Do we need to intensify awareness raising? Because most of them here where they happen. If you look at the age where it affects mostly, now picking the way they between 11 to 17 years.
Okay.
So that the recent data we don't get, it has always been like that, but WUSA it don't increase right now. Now they, and you look at them say why it happen. Now they're more active.
Okay.
Now they're more day on the street.
All right, we can look at other areas that we mentioned, but firstly, you talk about increment on the issue of sexual gender-based violence. You mentioned some districts there. You go separate them for which district in particular, in case them more they go up than other side them.
If I start with Western area, both Western urban and Western rural get high numbers of SGBV. Yeah, then you begin going at some Puja be at the hot spot. When we look at the data where they can now, it only reduce small by 2 or 3%. Yeah, then you go back, you look at districts like Kono, Kailaun. These are the hot spots we are dealing with right now. Cambia also don't show in head. So you begin for say some of them districts there, that the SGBV don't increase. But also you want for disaggregate, when you talk about SGBV, you also get the GBV when gender-based violence. The SGBV is sexual gender-based violence. So you go for separate the two. Which one they on the increase now? The gender-based violence, now it really don't increase. And you get a lot of factors where they lead to that.
Now, what are the data, or what in the data been they show before the task force, and what in the data they show now in terms of sexual and gender-based violence?
This task force done day before I even take office as gender advisor. So the task force don't always day. But now that the task force, what in the task force they do, they coordinate the efforts. Because first of all, the fight against GBV, not a one person they do. You get NGOs where they do. Government ministries the way they do. So if you want for really tackle them and combat them, you gotta forget a holistic approach. So that is why the task force is there. Come law we can't see them. What in you they do? What's how you they operate? Because most times they duplicate efforts. So because you don't want for law we duplicate efforts, if Ministry of Basic Education they handle this particular issue on school related sexual gender-based violence, you don't also want Ministry of Gender for go begin spend time and energy on that. So you begin to say we try the task force in main duty. Now for come look at what the Ministry of Health they do. If the same thing that Ministry of Gender they do, say okay, you concentrate on this so that you want for diversify the efforts so that we will able for reach out na every district, na every sector, so that we go for bring all them data here together and see. Because first of all, let me tell you, Musa, you ask what's in the data.
Yes.
When it comes to SGBV, you don't get one particular data. Because don't forget the FSU, police they na every district, Rainbow no they na every district. So the data we they get from police is going to be different from the data we they get from Rainbow.
So why the task force no they depend on the police where they all over the country?
Well, would they depend on them, but you also don't want for say, I want to put all my eggs in one basket.
But this is government agency or government body where they create for handle this particular situation,
but,
and then they get funding.
But you also get NGOs like Rainbow Initiative, where they get most of the funding from international partners also, where really don't tackle the issue of rape, the issue of gender-based violence more than any other organization.
So is it that Salon they depend on international partners for getting data, or not them for can get them data? What about the police? What happen with the kind of support where they need for make them put the data together where government could depend on?
I know they tell you say the police they give you data, but you also want to get data from other sides so that you compare. There's nothing wrong in comparing and contrasting. So that you get, if I don't get from the police, I can forget from Rainbow Initiative, where not of government they work for, then you don't get an independent view also. So there's nothing wrong for like a collaborative efforts in handling this particular matter. Whether international partners then come in, but waiting government don't do. First of all, no matter what international partners they do, if the political will is not there for like you fight gender-based violence, it will be like they put us on dogs back. So because all the issues there when it comes, the ball stops at government.
So that's the different data in the show. Well,
the different data they show, that's small discrepancies. Well, I not call them discrepancies, but because Rainbow Initiative not the boku side, but police then are all other side. So you won't forget rainbow they own data, you get police they own data, or they even get data from Ministry of NBSSE, because first of all then they deal purely with schools. So you won't forget all that data. So you now begin to look at and say, what do you make would they get this particular increase at the schools? What are the causes? Then you sit down and look at it, you analyze that particular data, you get a different strategy in handling what they happen at the schools. Right. What is the handle? What is the strategy we use for handle SGBV, school-related SGBV? It's going to be different from the method way they use for handle community, because they're two different people. School are purely kids. The school going picking them. So the approach is going to be different. The message is going to be different. So you see why would they say all this? So why the tax force come in? For example, the schools, we'll find out, say, some schools them, most of the schools, the toilet facility. You begin look, say, why, who side then this particular school-related SGBV they happen? Now the schools, when they go toilet. When maybe they go school, the school maybe go, I mean, all girls school, but even at that, when they get them mommy the way they sit down and then toilet, if you tell it, you get somebody to go check. It is not happening now. We want to see how we will begin implement them particular mechanism for forestall whatever they happen at the bathroom. Right. So you begin look at her. Even when I say don't talk about a 98.1, where teacher they go rape picking at school. But who size? Most times the toilet, sometimes they secluded area, broad daylight. So we want to see what's in the cause that day. Are we lacking in our strategies, or do we have to do more new strategies for able for combat what's in the happen so that we able for protect, because the school is supposed to be a safe area for picking the way to go school. So we can't begin to say no. We go for sit down with the ministries and look at them and put a lot of stringent actions in place, and we begin curtail down. They see say now they don't begin go down.
Right. So what's in the data they show in terms of sexual gender-based violence in schools then? Because recently we understand say even some teachers then they on their own because of sexual gender-based violence and other issues then. Any increment on schools on that?
Well, now the school look, yes, increment day. And that make I tell you say, even World Bank with the threaten say, if we know the handle, let them the number go down, then go forestall, then go withhold them funding. But I say the ministry go into proactive actions, and now that data they don't go down, because we get to the call the fire pathway. You get a lot of issues, and also let me tell you then what's in the happen. The community also need for help, yeah, because like what's in happen, me school when me go, let's take as an example. A teacher attend for rape picking on campus, broad daylight, na the counseling room. By the time when they say let them arrest that teacher, the community don't help, and the teacher don't escape. It don't escape. So I think say we need more for pay attention to who that they employ, and also for anybody where they find guilty. Let we begin profile people them. Most of the sooner we begin profile people. For example, if they don't call you name, say this man named Momo Kamara. It don't even if you attempt for rape picking na school, una withhold in PIN code. Make sure say no other school no employ them, and we don't put down all of the referral pathway. Okay. And profile in picture, begin put and let them know say this na Momo Kamara, this it don't. So if you hide self, you go to other village for go begin teach. Nobody no go for employ until we begin for do that. If we not begin for implement them particular strategy, the issues of school-related gender-based violence, and also the peer group. Most of what happen, the peer group, even the student and student to student, they be on to themselves.
We can look at the laws, policies, and also the resources directed to the fight against sexual gender-based violence, and also gender-based violence now schools and other area them na the country. Continue for stay with inside the program. We'll come back to you. We continue in him na IJ Kaba in the gender advisor office of the president. The program Good Morning Salon they continue.
Still inside the studios we get IJ Kaba, when a gender advisor office of the president. Now let's look at policies. As a country we get the policies or laws them in place, for fight sexual gender-based violence in the country.
My dear, if my policy is no more, we need to get gender-based violence in Sierra Leone. Yeah? Because before President Biodi come, we don't get a lot of policies. But what he do when he come, you look at, we get gender SGBV policy. For example, the Sexual Offences Act 2019. He say this law, we look at them. You get loopholes. What are the loopholes? The law amend them. We look at them, they amend that one, they look at critically, and also just from government point of view, bring everybody on board. They look at the Sexual Offences Act. Yeah, we do that day for amend that policy day so that it will get the victim will get protection. First time wait and say then somebody that don't beat her or they don't cause her, and not get no protection. The police will just say can they go put her inside the person we don't do this act and the whole day they see themselves. Now they all are traumatizing for the victim. So we amend that so that the victim will get a lot of protection. It will get secrecy. Because nobody the gladdy say, oh, this they don't go rape her, or they don't go sexually abuse her, they don't beat her, they don't. That trauma they alone. Talk less of you go expose them to the public. So we amend that sexual. Government make sure say they amend that sexual offences act so that we will forgive the victim a lot of protection. Then you find out say, yes, people go talk say, oh, woman themselves they abuse man them, but the percentage not even reach to 1%. Yeah, 99.9% of whether the SGBV and GBV na man them. So what in government do? Let we engage man them. So we get what we call male engagement. So that let we talk to man them. Let we know what are some of the causes where you they beat you man, you beat you picking, beat somebody. I mean even man to man. We want to know because we look at the data. Now man them more the cause. So that male engagement they also government will call and the National Male Involvement Strategy 2020. So you look at and say we really they do policies. So policy is not our problem. Implementation is our problem. Right. And for make people they know what's in the happen. You know, say after that, then government say, okay, sometimes because woman they not get a power, woman they not bokuna, woman they not so la increase. What do we do? We get a give it. We don't give it minimum 30%. You look at another this is the first time in the history of this country, you get 41 women in a parliament. You get 23 ministers and deputy ministers. You get women that now the head organizations were first in a male dominated area. So we look at online issues there and say you come back and look say what's in the abuse who picking there. We know say that the first lady Dr. Fatima Abiy been champion that child prohibition marriage. Yeah, so government makes sure they support that particular bill. Yeah, we do all on this. So for me it is not about policies, it's about awareness. If I tell you something, an issue happened recently we've been glad for do with the military. We make sure the CDS invites me, the Minister of Gender, and Madam Naswe, and a lifetime patron. When we talk to some of the 212 female then from the other ranks, we ask them, if you are sexually abused or harassed, molested, what are you supposed to do? Most, if I say 90% not be nothing for do. Who side for complaint? What are the actions we supposed to take? So we find out say it is not the policy that has the problem. It is the awareness. It is because Sierra Leoneans by natural agriculture we don't read. Okay. Issues we got for do it. We know you read that. You can't out today. You put a lot of women in there. You ask them what's in the happen in Nigeria with their celebrities, would be a big brother in Nigeria. Then they give you word for word data on what's in the happen in Nigeria. You ask them what's in the happen to them in Sierra Leone. They don't know. Okay. So for me, that culture, that lethargy of you not reading policies, for say if they rape me picking, or they sexually abuse me or harass me, waiting as supposed for do, we know sabi. Okay. And we let it one. And it's not about education, because you talk about waiting to happen. The policies also. Most of the institutions will get in this country because rape, sexual, gender-based violence they happen just now street. It happen in offices. It happen in house, in homes. Them offices. Most offices they not get what they call sexual harassment policy. So in my own capacity as gender advisor, we work with the Ministry of Gender and some other NGOs. For now we begin encourage, and it's going to be a must for all offices forget sexual harassment policy. Okay.
Now, Madam Aji, the reason why I asked for policy, but you just raise them up, get for do with allegation we get for do with somebody within the military we are in, then say he gets allegation on sexual harassment. Recently we see we are in, they don't promote this man. Waiting actually happen and waiting maybe you advise in relation to that.
Let just correct you. Not an allegation of sexual harassment. This is an allegation of rape, sexual penetration, of a senior military officer to a junior military officer. But again, it all boils down to waiting I just talk about. Not knowing what to do when you face then circumstances here. Because we all know say, now this country, if they rape you, first of all, no worse, so they not tamper the evidence. The clothes way you use, if you're a woman, the pants way you use, all the evidence the way you're supposed to keep. And you know they wait until 1 week before you go on a rainbow or any government hospital for let them go check you. So some of them things I want to talk about, I can tell you, it's not about policy, it's about the awareness, what to do. If we not go on the massive sensitization for let people they know waiting for when the issues that happen, you always they lost the case because when I go to court, now the evidence they look at. What in the proof say this thing happened?
So in
yes,
this
it
case
happened.
of the military,
so in this case,
no evidence.
The evidences are there, but because it was not taken to the right channel, and the law say if they rape you, either you go to any government hospital or Rainbow Center. This particular issue, the victim not go to Rainbow Center until after a week. So Rainbow not be able to get any evidence for show say this thing happened.
Sometime back there was an issue about the forensic lab. Alpha.
The forensic lab has always been a campaign where the women of this country don't launch. And even recently President Bio make mention about it. We still work on them, and I think say we the woman in the push for that, and also the government really want this, because if you as president or the government don't put all them policies there in place, but then number the because they all go to court, what's in the make with the loss? Most of them cases there now the evidence. So now that make we really they work very tirelessly for make sure say this forensic lab here will get them, and also not only forensic lab. Follow encourage Rainbow for make them get centers now all the districts there, because this then are the major problem what they get. Like this issue of the military officer, honestly, for me that's one thing where I feel so disappointed about.
So the case,
but again, what do we do?
The case not done now.
If we got the case not done yet, the case they on hold, because Mickey always say the matter no become conclusive yet. But again, this issue give me a lot of headache, because for me I personally take an interest in that matter. Because what he make we do so, we dey encourage women to go to the security sector. If they did, they will feel safe, they will feel protected. But also, if you come back, you look at what in the military get, they call them fraternization policy. Now they archaic policy, the way don't take ages. Thank God, we are starting to look at that tomorrow. Because of all they say, do evil that good may come. Because all the issues that way they can, the military also, because of their issues that they don't take proactive actions, they don't get now all you need. They get gender focal persons. So that you now begin for system, because you get gender focal persons and the various units in the army, then get direct reporting mechanism. So and the CDS don't take upon itself say any matter of that sort, those gender focal persons report directly to him, so that he will get first-hand information about what they happen. If they molest you, you know there are times. Let me tell you, they just pay attention to the sexual gender-based violence. There are times even the harassment. For like you even talk to somebody. You demean the person personality. Now one way of harassment and violence now one day. You cause somebody like then there's I did one a new map them program. I say Sierra Leoneans who don't know which culture they left for picking. This culture of course, this culture of mamikos and all that here. Now gender-based violence there. And we see recently what happened at Parliament, where no less a person but the first lady of the republic, how people go out. Then I want the gender-based violence now one day. Because if they try to intimidate a woman, we want for Tima for making voice, let her hear voice for create an impact in the society. So if you don't intimidate somebody of that caliber, what are the lesser ones within the offices then? And if you go to their office, they let you see some of the harassment where the woman had the face, highly educated women, but they didn't talk. So that culture of silence also want to break it. So now that make you ask what in this multi-sectoral task force they do. Now, one of the things I don't want to embark on, massive sensitization, awareness raising, let people know if this happened to me, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
These are the actions I will take.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Aissata Jabi Kaba.
Program Good Morning Salon. They continue still inside the studio. We get IJ Kaba. We now the gender advisor, office of the president. You don't talk a lot of things that we get for do with protection of picking them in the country or woman them in general. But again, people can say people with the fet or woman there with the fet for incomplete woman there at times key and pick and just focus on woman there. Sometime back we are in one woman light a man with I think petrol. Waiting really happen and waiting they happen with that case still.
Well, in the first place, the law need to look at gender. In my office, when they say gender advisor, it's not only for women, and for man and woman in picking them. Yeah. But again, if you look at, I talk on one of my statement, they say, not to say that woman they no more, they abuse. You get not up to 1% of women they say we can abuse man them. Yeah, like that particular incident and the way the Minister of Gender be handled, and I think say the matter they court because the man may end up for die. Yeah, so that matter they court, and once the matter in a court, we left under the jurisdiction of the court, let the matter go according to how it's supposed to go, so that justice go be served to Uda forget them. So then issues and they so not to say even in we woke, we need to get woman the way they abuse man them. We they get plenty, but no reach to 1%. 99% of the abuse where they happen now man then they met them out on women and girls in this country. Okay. Yeah, like for example in Cambia, last year we get one officer where abused by 11 picking in not so just girl picking no more. Both bobo them and girl picking them. So the new trend now not only we girl picking them now with the afraid for, even with young bobo they would afraid for them because of what's in the happen now. So that make us say it's not about policy, it's about sensitization. It's about parents for no waiting they go on with you picking in life. Because again, what's not happening in this country? Everything we don't left unto government. You go see Komra in Peking don't go do bad in the streets. What's if our government they do? What you they do as a parent? What you they do as a parent? Because me, growing up in Kono, na community na any men I don't remember when my mama beats me. But we get first of all when they dress come out. By the way they reach, who say they reach? 2-3 come round and don't blast for you, you get cause for go back for change. But now it need to happen. Because when you talk about somebody in Peking, they can't attack you. Instead of it tell you thank you for the correctional measures we don't take for in Peking. So me think say we got to go back and sensitize with parents them. Say they have the responsibility for check them Peking them. Look at what we they do. We feel safe for show love to Peking and forget them mobile phones. You they see some Peking, in mama they walk out by foot, but I get iPhone 16 Pro Max. We can get her. So if you like making they get her, you need to monitor what they look there, what they do there. Yeah, and then they learn online bad habit there. So I think say parenting also go for pay attention to them. Let people not let everything say that government get for doing. You as a parent, you get natural responsibility for no at any given point in time what you picking they up to.
But now we look at your role as a gender advisor to president. Now look at the Child Rights Act. What in the gender advisor office they advise the president on this particular law where parliament don't pass but president not sign on it?
Well, that shows he's a listening president. We don't do a lot of campaign on that. I was part and parcel of what the minister they do with the go sit down at parliament so that for encourage parliament for passing. Because again, let me tell you, that's Child Rights Act. People just they concentrate on one thing. We're in a FGM. But honestly, you get a lot of good things that inside that Child Rights Act, the way they only benefit the picking them, but it will benefit you as a nation. So we look at all issues we got for do with the well-being of the picking. In rights, in responsibilities, in roles, waiting at the limitations and all length here. But we are not talking about them. All we pay attention to now FGM. And really the issue of FGM for me, I don't like talking about it. Because nobody knows they ban FGM. Nobody they ban FGM. But what would they say? The age grade. And that name don't they safe. Really, even on they say not put speaking bondo. Wait till you don't big. Because for me, I think where they put speaking bondo, they water than the very essence of bondo society. Because bondo, it's a culture where we know for ban. It is different from FGM. Because growing up, me a country woman. Growing up, where they go to bondo bush, that then they teach you, they teach picking how to take care of man. You didn't teach picking how to cook. Small picking, no. You they teach matured person how to take care of himself, how for clean himself, how for cook for a man, how for behave himself in public, how for dress up. I can tell people and then they laugh. I say me na bondo bush and teach me how for tie lapa. And they tie lapa with ease. Because when I'm morning, then they wake on natima, all man they care lapa go they show how for tie lapa because you country woman, you sabi for tie lapa. And look at other countries what they do. Take countries like Kenya. They not ban them bondo business. Then they still if now it don't become a culture when December can they bring them picking them from all over the world. They bring them kind of Kenya for can't teach them. Then they teach them how for cook them traditional food. Then they teach them culture, how you for behave as a Kenyan woman, how you for dress, what's in traditional clothes. Then now you see who picking them. All matter become westernized. Even when they say married now, when they say traditional wedding, they go take Nigerian culture. No.
So this particular law we get for see president sign up.
Well, president they still look at them critically. That's why I told you, President Bio, not so president we just to jump into conclusion. President Bio, they look at the law, they don't give him, they don't call in legal team, they look at them before appending signature. So in no goes just sign because Parliament don't pass them. But as fountain of honor, President of Sierra Leone, he go look at the law and look at them critically and also get advice as to waiting for be the next step. So the law it did in table, but don't forget say from where that law they did in table, you're not able to sit down as chairman of ECOWAS. It gets issues the way they handle, they go here and there. So I think say what it don't settle. If they look at that law, the critical and it go do the needful.
Alright, before we go over to Masi quickly, another law again where the religious people are very concerned about. What's a position on that, or what's be your advice?
My advice on that also, you see, we like for cherry pick issues. Yeah, that law they also now very good law where we need for look at them and look as a country. Let me tell you, people can just look at one issue and forget about all the other issues where really good for the country. Yeah, people they pay attention to abortion. That abortion day, it gets checks and balances. Nobody they say just go do abortion like say you crazy. So also that day again, President they look at them critically. As I say, President Bio, whatever you get, it is sit down. You know they only take a unilateral decision. It is sit down with advisors. It is sit down with other technical people. They look at the pros and cons so that it go able for it make sure say anything what it do now in the best interest of the country.
When this bill first appeared in 2015, they call it the abortion bill, and later we see the name changed to the Safe Motherhood Bill. But even still, people still refer to it as the abortion bill. They pinpoint the issue of the abortion, but this bill be done past the parliament, but the first time president and by command of Grace Signer. This being said, we see campaign intensified for passing a parliament, but all of a sudden we need to get nothing about it again. What now the status?
The status of that bill is still there on course, as I say. Like you rightly say, Musa, if I enter Naya, the way I tell una I do, it will make una gladi, if I can, una kushe Creole, a bad way for Teladu. Right? If I can, una kushe, you will appreciate them better than the first one was una kushe. So the first name where they get abortion bill was wrong. Yeah? But now the Safe Motherhood Bill, so now make a talk we as women then that bill na for we. It get a lot of good things that inside that bill where they protect me health, where they protect me well-being, where give me right for take certain decisions about myself. And I think say that rights they will not overlook them. Will not overlook them. Take for example, 6 months ago we get a case where this woman, na businesswoman, because it will go lumo all it in one grand girl picking, when he and the man born 15 years of age, in Papa Giambele. It continuously sleep with that picking where the woman not day, it mix something that the picking in tea, na net, it get where the picking sleep, it sleep with the picking. That picking they at that age, before the 16 they get belly. Tell me you go one for make that picking they keep that pregnancy. First of all, the ministry therefore go ahead and pull the picking at the community first of all, because it's embarrassing for let them say, would that tamper with you, daddy were born, you know, so no other person, you and papa. Then you can't get belly. First of all, you don't affect that picking in your education. You don't affect that picking in mental being. You don't demean, you don't tamper with integrity in confidence level. So what you do, we go for pull that picking day commander. You go allow that kind of picking day for go ahead and keep that kind of pregnancy. How you go call that picking day? So for me, some of them here alone not just they look at that. And for me, I've been so glad you want to see the religious leaders then. They've been so vociferous in campaigning for that bill. I hope say then go grab and team up again and begin talk. Now all the pulpits them, now the mosques them, now the churches for condemned sexual gender-based violence that happen where they take a toll on we picking and the woman in this country. Because I don't want to see them come unanimously with a united front for talk on rape, for talk on sexual gender-based violence, for talk about some of the ills of the society where they kill who picking and they affect women. Take the example the issue of Kush. I wish they all will come together again as religious bodies for intensify that campaign. Not so just for wait when small thing where really we need for sit down and look at them where go benefit to all, we begin capitalize on. And so for me, I really want for sit down day, not only for cherry pick issues, but it will be a unanimous thing where anything I want to talk, if for beating where they benefit the country.
All right, continue for the with me inside the program. IJ Kaba.
Come to IJ Kaba, we na gender advisor to the president. And before I come to you, this one from Osfred Kamara, they say, Madam Advisor, are there plans to include a forensic DNA machine for sexual crimes like raping? This was promised to be procured by elite stakeholders involved in SGBV. With that comment, they can respond to the concerns and we come for you.
Thank you very much. Let's start with this recent one where we talk about the forensic machine. In fact, this is an issue we don't linger on for quite some time, and I want to assure the public say we still work on them and we still try to look for avenues, because not so cheap stuff land, not so cheap machine landing. So nothing we do on cause, and we want them because most of the, as I mentioned earlier, most of the cases that they lost na court now because we not get forensic machine for begin prove some of them. Then lab test here for low proven. Secondly, somebody talk about this still this military case they linger on. As I been rightly say, again it boils down to procedures. If people don't know waiting for do when they face them circumstances there, we go to court. And if the DPP, we go attack the DPP. He said, "I waiting them present to me. Now I write on one. The person no go na Rainbow Center. You no go na government hospital. Yes, it go 34. They do all that, but again, when you look at the SOP, we need to look at the not 34 report. They take report from Rainbow and government hospital. So you find out some of them here. So I make us say, now we embark on massive sensitization. Institutions that will go for make sure we engage all institutions. Them let them know say, them policies there they. Then that's so you for do when you face with them circumstances here. What you supposed to do? So we embark on that, and thank God, you and women they begin with the military tomorrow. They get this workshop. Then one go sit down and begin talk. One will begin look at them policies, and not only the military, even the police, all institutions. But one for start with the security sector because now them first we want for deal with because now they will don't begin get issues where don't become so. How can call them alarming case? Well, no, I don't want to call them alarming case, but landmark case. We don't face a lot of embarrassment to we won't able for see head and tail on that particular matter. Then going back, I just want for join Masiri for Lord tell President Bio thank you. You know, as he rightly said, this is not the first time you get a visually impaired person or persons living with disability, especially a woman, for make their appointment at the president in office for make you do that kind of work here. So one for tell President Bio thank you and make you continue for do more. And also, like you rightly say, SGBV or gender-based violence. Now concerted efforts, now everybody in responsibility, and that make the task force day so that we will coordinate and collaborate with one another. We'll get proper data, proper strategies so that we will implement and so that we'll be able for combat SGBV in Sierra Leone. So on that note, I just want to say thank you to everybody for wanna listen to we, and I'm sure I will call you back for look and talk on the issues there. Thank you.
Let's thank you for joining me inside the program this morning. I'm Aisatu Jabi Kaba, in Agenda Advisor, Office of the President.